All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to He's on Fire podcast, you guys.
He's on fire!
The Phoenix Suns have a 12-game win streak.
He's on fire!
The Arizona Cardinals are the best team in football with a 9-2 record.
He's on fire!
The Arizona Cardinals have not lost a game in the division.
He's on fire!
Did I mention we were the best team in football?
He's on fire!
Because it's going down in Arizona sports right now. 2 weeks ago, we were struggling. Now look at us. Amazing what a few weeks can do. I can't wait to talk all about this going into it. He's on my podcast. Let's go.
Urkavici sets, looks up, and it is caught! Dylan Strong! Blitz coming, Matthews, Palmer extending the play, crosses the field, Larry Fitzgerald. There he throws, it's over. It's insane to the 4-yard line. Crowder looking, throws it alley-oop. Oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly. But it's Adrian Chess, Ayuk, a foot race. They won't get it. Center field. The Diamondbacks are world
I do want to get one thing off of my chest when it comes to Arizona State athletics real quick. What an absolute embarrassment to lose at Research Stadium if you're Herm Edwards and company, only scoring 10 points. Just an absolute joke. This is the worst 7-4 team. They were the worst 7-3 team going into the game, but they're by far the worst 7-4 team. The coaches don't care. Antonio Pierce is on the sideline at the opposite 40-yard line talking to referees during a timeout when his defense is huffing and puffing on the other side. And then he goes and he talks to a booster and somebody else wearing a Pac-12 logo shirt. That's what he's doing. Meanwhile, on pivotal decisions that Herm Edwards makes and fails on, his team comes off the field and he just sits there like this and doesn't say anything to a single person on the team. I can't wait until he's gone. It is hate week. And I will be donning a lot of maroon and gold on the podcast. Well, I guess it's going into Thanksgiving, so we really won't be on the podcast that much. But I'll be wearing a lot of maroon and gold because no pity for the kitty. I can't wait till we beat them again for a 5th or 6th straight year. And Bobby Hurley's team has a really good opportunity against Baylor, who did just lose. I think ranked number 9 on Wednesday. Battle for Atlantis. That'll be a good game. Really disappointed in ASU. But let's get into some good stuff. 9-2 Arizona Cardinals. JJ, how are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. I was stressed out all today.
Yes.
And when the news finally came out that Kyler wasn't playing, like I was cussing around the house and shit and eating my cereal aggressively. Like I just wasn't in a good mood,
Eating my cereal aggressively.
But Colt McCoy, dude, and Cliff have like surprised us again. And Seattle's fucking trash. Fuck the Sea Chickens, Feeling great, man. And then that Suns game was incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better weekend with the Cardinals and the Suns, man.
And Colt McCoy wears number 12. The Cardinals beat the 12th man, and the Suns got 12 in a row. I don't know if I missed anything else. Amit, how are you today on this fine, glorious Sunday?
I'm just going to say it with my chest, and it's for the Suns and for the Cardinals. And J.J. Watt knows what I'm saying. Maybe we're just better. Maybe we're just fucking better. That's all I got.
Yes, sir.
We're better than the Seahawks. That is for real. We were better than the Seahawks. Now, going into the game, I told you 2 weeks ago when we played San Francisco, I wasn't feeling good about this game. Came on the podcast, and I was like, but I woke up that morning feeling good. Like I felt good. Like I didn't feel cocky or anything. I felt comfortable more than anything. I felt comfortable this morning, and I knew K1 wasn't going to play. I was up late. I saw the Adam Schefter tweet. They're leading on Colt McCoy. So I was just like, all right, it's going to be Colt. K1's going to be healthy in 2 weeks. It is what it is. I am comfortable. But the key to this game, dude, did you guys see time of possession, what that was today?
That was my first point,
them.
That's my first point. It's clock management. It was so they did fuck up on one part in the fourth quarter, but essentially they dominated it. They kept them out. I think they had at least 30 more plays. That was like I think
I'm going to bring it up and full size it, but keep talking.
And basically, so when you have a 2-possession game and you're in the fourth quarter, it basically becomes you're running the clock down under 10 minutes. So they didn't get the field goal. It really wouldn't have changed things too much because it still would have been a 2-possession game. It just makes it a little bit more difficult for them. But they miss a field goal, and it's like, okay, now you got to take away everything deep and keep them in front of you, make them eat up 4 or 5 minutes if they're going to get a field goal or a touchdown, whatever it is. And they give up a touchdown in 2 minutes, right? So then you're like, oh, fuck.
Less than,
now,
yeah.
Now it's like, now we actually have to go out and score. So, and that's what they did. And you know, going back to that drive, the final drive there, when they scored.
Total plays, by the way, 79-49. So we beat them by 30 in total plays.
30,
go ahead,
exactly.
Go ahead, Amit.
So what happened was if you guys remember, there was a I think it was like a second down on that drive where Colt McCoy he did the option play with Connor.
Yeah.
And he took it and ran it, which they didn't see him do that the entire game. Beautiful. So then when they got to the goal line, if you guys recall, they loaded that left side of the defensive line. And Connor just took it in the middle, just right up the middle touchdown. And it was it's checkers, dude. It's checkers.
It was a perfect game by Cliff Kingsbury. So 2 out of 3 times they came out and dominated their opponent, missing QB 1, wide receiver 1, running back 1, left guard 1, D-line 1. Any other ones that I'm missing? And I
wouldn't put that respect on Connor's name, man. I think he's running back 1.
Absolutely.
But going into that San Fran game, it was Chase Edmonds. He was the number 1 back.
Is he really number 1?
3 weeks ago, we were going into that game thinking so. After that game, after he got hurt in the first play, it was James Conner's job to lose, and he did so today. But going into the season, everybody thought Chase Edmonds was number 1, right?
I thought it was committee, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if it matters at this point. I mean, Benjamin stepped up today too and made some plays. I mean,
man, Chase might not be on the team next year, y'all.
Yeah.
But we're not going to look at that right now. He went on IR after that game, so he still has to miss 1 more game before he can come back, which is good. He'll have fresh legs heading into the postseason. But the things that really stuck out, we already said 79-49 in play differential. You go down to scroll to time of possession. It's basically we got double, 40 minutes to almost 20 minutes. Double. That doesn't happen in NFL games. But check this out. This was really the game right here. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, tell me you have it. It was third down efficiency right there. Cardinals were 7 for 14.
Wow.
50%. 2 for 10 for the Seahawks.
And that's because the Seahawks were in the down and distance situations for them were terrible. And they had the reason that they even had any good passing plays, minus I think they got protection maybe 2 times, and that was like that 49-yard pass and that other play where he rolled out and I think he caught somebody for like a 30-yard pass. Everything else was dink and dunk for them. They are just like quick outs. Like they could not, because they don't have an offensive line that can protect Russell Wilson, especially against his Cardinals defense. And that was one of the differences in the game, because we could just bring pressure and they knew it. And so they had to dink and dunk, and then they got in third down and long. And guess what? It was another sack because we got a sack on second down.
Colt McCoy had 318 yards passing.
35 of 44 completion to attempt.
Yeah. That's too many
insane.
passes. But
and look at Russ's, man. That should never happen.
Yeah.
Only 2 sacks for 10 yards, by the way, for Colt. You know, when Kyler Murray gets sacked, it's for like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was with Ronnie Hudson dishing the ball low? That was all
Every
game.
single one was low, man. Well, he's used to Kyler Murray, who's 5'1", so maybe
Know
that's a
what?
good height for him.
You know what? Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Zach Ertz, you guys, and Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore had 11 for 51. Now, granted, a lot of them were those swing passes, didn't go much,
Yeah.
kept them honest, obviously, but 8 for 88, Zach Ertz, and 2 TDs. One of them on a botched play where they couldn't even hand it off. 8 for 88 and 2 touchdowns. Could Max Williams do this, Amit?
No, he couldn't. He's not that type of player. He'll give you 3 in 40 and maybe a touchdown, but he's not going to give you that consistency. And Ertz was that first touchdown. He was really aggressive with his spike, man. I thought he was going to fight somebody in the stands. Did you guys see that too?
Absolutely.
Did you see the dude in the front? He flinched
he was
that.
just like this.
Yeah, Ertz is a beast, man.
Jay, we've all noticed that you still have yet to get a haircut, so we're seeing what happens right before Thanksgiving.
I'm getting it this week, man.
Dude, if you shave and get a haircut, I'm not even going to recognize you.
That's true.
Yeah, it will be a first, so you see me all done up. So,
Mike Hughes, thanks for listening in, man. Appreciate you. I want to ask you, JJ, this guy that nobody seems to know of that just keeps making plays now week in and week out. He goes by the name of Antoine Wesley.
mm-hmm.
What have you seen out of him? Because every single game for at least the last 5 or 6 weeks, right? He's coming down with at least one big catch.
He's a great route runner. He has great hands. Very underrated. I don't know what college he went to, but
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
He was coached under Uncle Cliff.
Is he a rookie?
I don't think. No, he's not a rookie. Second season.
Okay. Did we draft him? We didn't draft him, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but Wesley's been incredible. When we needed him, it's like, yeah, we obviously know that Hop isn't playing and stuff, but he fills the shoes enough to where, it doesn't hurt. And Wesley doesn't drop passes. He's great with the route running. He doesn't stop or slow down. He's a really good receiver and very underrated. A very underrated pickup for sure.
Solid. He just seems so solid in coming up with plays that we need somebody else to. Kind of reminds me of some shades of early Doucette in his first or second season. Where
I was
going
to say that early Doucette, Andre Roberts, like these guys that
Steve Breston, maybe his rookie year. Yeah.
He moves like Doucette.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I'd love to see him going out moving forward. And to be honest, you guys, this is a little disrespectful maybe, but I'm not missing Larry Fitzgerald. I haven't missed him one game.
I mean, it's kind of hard too because we're 9-2 now. We don't need it. Everyone's doing their job and we're pulling miracles out of the hat with even Kyler and D-Hop out, so.
I mean, what would you rather have? Rondale Moore catching those screen slots, or would you have Larry Fitzgerald doing it?
Well, yeah, that's not even a question. Rondale can take it to the house anytime, right? So
yeah. I mean, he had 2 plays that were losses today that became first downs. The dude is electric.
Yeah. And everybody knows it now, and so they're planning for him, which is unfortunate because the first 4 weeks of the season, kid was on fire, and now he's on everybody's scouting report. They know exactly who he is, but AJ Green had a big game too. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I was going to talk about AJ Green. I mean, he's filling that other part of the Larry Fitzgerald role where it's like when it's third down and we need a big catch and you don't have
he's big on the third down.
Dude, he comes through. Are we going to have 3? I think we might have 4 guys in the Pro Bowl from the offensive side, the skill side.
I can see it, man. I think Ronnie Hudson might make it, but even though the PFF ranks him one of the worst centers in the league, I don't know how they rank.
I was talking receivers though.
Yeah, you're talking about
alone?
skill positions.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm thinking Hop is going to make it as long as he comes back and plays.
Absolutely.
AJ Green might make it. Kirk is the guy who's on the edge. And then Connor, he doesn't have like the traditional stats, but he's got 13 touchdowns.
He has to be in the Pro Bowl if
But
he's putting up
LeGarrette
numbers
Blunt
like
never
that.
made the Pro Bowl for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just a little. Go ahead.
I want to talk about this one play. The refs were a little weird this game, but the fumbles and stuff. But
man, gotta clear that shit up.
But Lockett, he ran out of bounds on the sideline and hopped back in, and the refs just didn't review that at all.
No,
that's pretty easy to throw a flag for. And in your guys' opinion, was that Christian Kirk touchdown, the one with the knees down? Was that
was absolutely a touchdown?
Yeah,
I never saw one part where he was out of bounds and not in control. I never saw it.
I mean, his arms are underneath the ball, his knees were down.
The thing is,
got possession.
He caught the ball, his knees were down. Isn't that a touchdown at that point? And then when
one knee,
right? And he had two. So he rolls. It wasn't like he put his feet down and rolled out of bounds, which I think is a different. That's supposed to be like reffed a different way. But he caught it with his knees down. Then when he rolled, he bobbled it, but he still had control with his body. Like he still held the ball. He didn't drop the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
I thought at that point I was like, man, we're fucked, because it was now 3rd and 10 at that point. I was just like, God damn it.
I thought we were fucked when Colt McCoy threw that interception that wasn't an interception.
Yeah. That ball hit straight ground.
I couldn't believe that got called back. I couldn't believe it. That never happens to us. That would have been an interception 99 out of 100 times, you guys.
It was one of those plays where you see it and you're like, that's a pick six, dude. You can't throw that ball.
Yeah.
And luckily he threw it shitty and the guy couldn't catch it, so that's good, I guess.
And AJ Green didn't even go and try to make a play and tap the guy either. That was frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
The defense stepped up. We finally saw Chandler Jones coming back and doing Chandler Jones things and being the player that we thought he was. So I don't know what happened quite a few games ago. He does just play good in Seattle. There is that to mention, but Chandler Jones came up absolutely huge today. That defensive line was knocking around Russell Wilson left and right, you guys. 6 hits on the day, too. I mean, not only that, how many pressures did that D-line generate?
I think the reason he sucked is that Freddie Joe Nunn shirt was sitting out in a fucking container out in the Pacific. And so he had to wait till he got that shirt to actually show up.
But man, Zach Allen too, we have to talk about him. He has really filled that void that Watt kind of left, and he's just really stepped up, and he closed out the game with having Russ run out the pocket as fast as he could and have him throw that incomplete to seal the game. And Zach Allen's just really stepped up. Shouts out to him.
And I want to take it a step further and go to Lucky Fotu. Anytime I see Lucky Fotu and I see him moving people and he's getting dudes off of his block and he's impacting the run. He's not always getting to the guy, but he's making the runner change and move to different places, not where he wants to go. Marco Wilson too. They had the one lone bomb to DK Metcalf, and which I thought was an offensive pass interference, pushing Buda Baker. Look like he has it, and then in comes Marco, fuck you, and says, nope, I'm not taking that. Marco Wilson has stepped up. And then the unnamed soldier, the what do they call it? The sleeper of the group or whatever. You'll know who I'm talking about.
Horse.
The dark horse, whatever you want to call him. Fucking Jalen Thompson, you guys.
He played great.
Jalen Thompson, week in and week out. And I saw Jess Root from Revenge of the Birds put out a tweet saying, we have the best safety combination in the league, and it's not close.
That's crazy.
Do we? I honestly, I'm having trouble. I could think of safety combinations back in the day. I'm having trouble coming up with them now, just off the top of my head.
It's hard to compare him to anybody.
This is a different type of secondary. I remember there's safeties where they're hard-hitting safeties. You'll see an Ed Reed with whoever the fuck, and then I think it was Adrian Wilson and Kerry Rhodes. Is that right? No, that's not right.
Yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
those guys were good together. But yeah, I think is Jalen Thompson the one that did that got that 15-yard penalty on that play? That was him, right?
So Adrian Amos
Lockett came back up.
Darnell Savage for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
I
think
get
was
that
Thompson.
one. Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson, Denver Broncos. I really wouldn't know. Jordan Poyer,
probably
Micah
not
Hyde,
on this
Buffalo.
list.
Yep.
Micah Hyde's good.
Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams. Well, we saw that this is completely false.
Nope.
There's no way we're on this list.
You lost all credibility right there, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. No, we're not on that list. I wonder where PFF had secondary rankings. I wonder where we're at for secondary rankings. Denver Broncos 1, Baltimore, Cleveland, Buffalo.
Wow, what the fuck?
But see, here's the thing, though. Like these rankings are based on like statistics, right? They're not based on the eye test.
22.
So, like Denver being that high, like that doesn't make any sense at all. Like they're not good,
And this is without Malcolm Butler.
right?
These were the positions that we were worried about coming into the season too.
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember we talked about this at length. We were worried
At
that
length.
we had rookies out there,
And we had
staying
linebackers
healthy.
that couldn't cover, and then all of a sudden Isaiah Simmons stepping up with a sack too. That very first series, you get Chandler Jones and Isaiah Simmons just blasting off of that side. Oh, it was
the problem,
gorgeous.
The
to
weakness
watch.
with this team, and teams haven't. I mean, Carolina figured it out, and I think the Niners figured it out in that first time we played them. But you can run the ball on this team.
Oh yeah,
and teams just don't commit to that, right?
Are you sure?
Okay, they can run the ball when you get to the red zone. Then it's a lockdown at that.
I just want to be like, talk to Derrick Henry, but then I saw what Dalvin Cook and what's dude's name for the Packers? Not Aaron Jones, the other guy.
Dylan
Mitchell. Was it Mitchell? Number 20. Dylan, 28. Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan. Yeah.
For the Packers. He had a field day against us. Granted, that was also the first game without JJ Watt, so it was
and better
kind of
O-line.
Plug and play.
Yeah.
Way better O-line.
That the Tennessee game was one of those games where they just game planned to take. They were like, we're going to take Derrick Henry out of this, and we're going to let Tannehill try to beat us, right? Because I think they felt comfortable with the secondary to just be like, you know what, let's see what you got, bro. And they locked it down, and that was, we blew them out. But yeah, I think you can run on this team. That's an issue. And we saw special teams was a problem today too, at least from field goal side. That was 7 points. If you put those 7 points in, so coming into this game, we were like
blowout.
Yeah.
And that's where we were winning by 18 points on so we haven't lost on the road, by the way. We're 6-0 now.
Yeah.
This is the closest road game.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the closest road game. And if we had those 7 points, we'd be at 30 points, which is where we typically are. And then we'd also have won by close to our average of 18.
So Derrick Henry against Tennessee, we obviously stopped him. Now against Minnesota, Dalvin Cook had his way, but that's Dalvin Cook. Jacksonville had that one rushing touchdown on us, like right to open the second half. If you guys remember, they ran it down the field the whole time. Rams did nothing. San Francisco game did nothing. Cleveland, they did nothing, but they were without Chubb, and Kareem Hunt got hurt. I don't honestly remember when. Houston doesn't have a ground game.
It was like right at the end of the game.
Yep. Green Bay shoved it down our throat. We stopped Wisconsin. We stopped San Francisco. Carolina ran it down our throat. Granted, Christian McCaffrey, and he looked healthy as shit that game. And then this Seattle game, and they tried kind of. I thought they could have done more, but you look at the rest of our schedule, who's the best running back that we're going to face?
Probably
Jonathan Taylor.
Zeke.
I think it's Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor and Zeke. Yeah. I honestly keep forgetting that Indianapolis is good because I didn't think they were going to be any good this year. It's crazy. He went off today. Off today. So all of a sudden that Christmas game is looking spicy, but we're going to come out of this bye week. Yep. We're going to come out of this bye week, gentlemen, with hopefully a healthy Justin Pugh.
Yes.
More of an update on JJ Watt. And we'll see where he's at. He probably has to sit one more game. No, he could technically come off. So we're going to see what happens with him. We're going to know more about Chase Edmonds. He'll be a week away. We're also going to get D-Hop back. We're also going to get Kyler Murray back. And we play on the road. It's perfect that we play on the road. Get that road early game over with right out of the bye. So we're nice and fresh and ready to go. And then we get another full day to prepare for the Rams on Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
But all that matters is beating Chicago, who could be without Justin Fields.
He might have broken ribs. So
He might. We beat
That
Andy
sucks,
Dalton
man.
last year when he was with the Cowboys, by the way. We beat Andy Dalton in 2015 against the Bengals. We made them look mediocre. I like our chances against Chicago with everything that we've discussed. That's a dub, right?
that's a
Amit?
dub, dude. That's
Yeah.
but okay.
Has
The
to be.
only thing that can throw this all
And Khalil
off,
Mack is out.
and he's
And-
out.
Yeah.
But the thing that throws it off is you never know with Chicago weather. I don't know if you guys have been to
Survivor
Chicago. My wife is from Chicago. I'm there a lot. This is the time of year you don't want to be anywhere near that place because you
that
never know how
Raider.
cold it's going to be. There could be, and their stadium is right on the lake, so there's all sorts of different micro weather shit going on at that stadium that you don't get. Like the Steelers have that. Some stadiums have that where they're like close to a river, close to a lake, where it's like the weather's all fucked up.
Mhm.
That's the only thing. Like
don't know if
I
you can
remember when we went to
see. No, I'll pull up the weather report.
I remember when we went to, I want to say it was the year we went to Super Bowl. We played the Patriots. I think Matt Leinart started that game, and it was like fucking freezing cold. And the Cardinals was like, we're not having any of this. And I think we lost like 55-7, if I
Sounds
remember
about right.
because they were just like, fuck this. The only touchdown was a touchdown to Fitz. Like he just threw a bomb at the end of the game, and that was it. But they were just like, we're not having any of this shit. So I can see them going in there and be like, this is too fucking cold to play. Because I've been in Chicago and be like, this is too fucking cold to live here. I don't even want to go outside. So let alone like get the mail or play a football game. So that's the only thing. But dude, Chicago, it's funny because I have so many of my wife's friends that are Chicago fans, and they're just like, they don't know what the I mean, they have been starving for a quarterback for so long, and they get one this guy is done. And maybe he's even good. Who knows if he's even good? They thought Jay Cutler would be good. And I've been in Chicago and seen so many Cutler jerseys, like people have like modified them. Like it's crazy, dude. Like they hate that guy. They loved him and then they hated him, and then they just they've never had a good quarterback.
It's the Romo effect, like Romo and Cutler you can throw into the same sort of
At least Romo was like he was
more consistent than Cutler. Yeah.
Like he was a little bit more like spontaneous too. Like he could make a lot more plays. Cutler, he just was a sourpuss.
Yeah, it was. So 6 more weeks at Chicago, home to the Rams, Monday Night Football. At Detroit, home on a Saturday game to Indianapolis on Christmas Day. At Dallas the following Sunday, 11 a.m. kickoff. And we close the season home to Seattle. I kind of every year I throw the last game out because we don't know what to expect. Are we going to be resting guys? What are the injuries at that point? Are we on our third quarterback? Or are they resting guys? We don't know what's going to happen at that point. I want to throw that game out. So for the next 5 weeks, Amit, what is going to be our record for the next 5 weeks?
I was worried because remember we started the season 6-2 last year, and then we ended up 8-8, right? Is that correct? 8-8.
Yeah.
So we finished 2-6, and I remember that year with Kevin Cobb, we started 4-0, and then we ended up like 4-12, I think, or 5-11, or something stupid like that.
Right, exactly.
And then we have some injuries. Obviously, people are nursing some injuries.
But they're coming back.
1, 2. I'm gonna say 3-2.
3-2. What are the three?
I think we beat the Chicago. I know we're gonna beat Detroit, and I have a feeling that we're gonna beat Indianapolis on Christmas Day.
I would agree with your assessment. But here's my thing. I don't personally look at any of these games and see an L like they're clearly better than us. I'm worried about them or anything like that, right? We completely demolished the Rams. There's no reason to think we couldn't do it again now without Robert Woods. Okay. Yeah, granted they have Von Miller. I don't think it's as
He
big.
was
an
injured,
addition
by
as
the way. His
people
ankle
think.
injuries kept keeping him out. He can't play.
So, and yeah, exactly. So I'm not scared of them. Chicago and Detroit should be dubs. I'm a little bit more scared of Detroit than Chicago because never trust a winless team.
Yep.
That shit can get scary, or your mindset going into it at Detroit at that time of year. If we beat the Rams after Monday Night Football and then travel to Detroit on a short week and they're motivated to have the best team in football in their house, things can happen. DeAndre Swift is a stud, and we have a porous run defense.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So just think about that. You knock Jared Goff off of a spot a few times, we can pick him off 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray can do amazing things. Something to be worried about. JJ Taylor, Indianapolis. You never know where people's minds at are on Christmas. Dude, these dudes are waking up at home and then they gotta leave and go to the stadium. I think it's better to be on the road on Christmas Day. So I can be the pessimist for every single game.
Yeah.
Dallas, they remember what happened last year to them, and they're like, no, F that. We need to come out and beat this damn team, right? I could see that happening. And then Seattle, I don't see us losing to Seattle at the end of the year, even though I said we're going to talk about the first 5 games and not the 6th. But
Look, if we have to have a game plan for that Seattle game, something went terribly wrong. Like that game everybody should be sitting that game. In a 17-week season, we should not be playing that. Like Kyler shouldn't be playing. Like a lot of guys should not be playing in that game. So I would just put an L there because I'm expecting this team to have a bye.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. If we secure the 1 seed before the Seattle game, just sit everybody.
So taking a look at the AFC real quick, you've got Tennessee, Baltimore, New England, and there's Kansas City right back on top of the AFC West. Right behind them, a whole lot of gunk in Cincy, the Chargers, and the Bills. And Colts are right there, and so are the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are going to get there. You can toss them out. Cleveland looks like they're just pissing away their entire season. I don't trust Vegas and the Raiders to make enough plays. Nobody trusts Denver after starting 3-0, and now they're 2-5 since then. So the top 7 teams are there, but can Indianapolis make a run? And if they can make a run coming into Christmas Day against the Cardinals, like watch out. That's going to be a fireworks game.
They got a good defense. They have some skill players that are good, and I mean Wentz is actually the question mark for their whole team because that guy's so up and down. They got good coaching.
I like Michael Pittman Jr. too.
Yep, I love that dude, man. I love Michael Pittman with the Cardinals. His dad.
Oh, facts. And with the Bucks.
But the 2 teams on this squad, if you look at the Bills and go above them, Bengals and Chargers. Like, I don't know if those teams are going to make it. I mean, I would. What?
I would say the Bengals would be the one team to fall out just because they're not as seasoned yet. So I would put the Colts ahead of them just for that reason. But Bengals play the Steelers next week. That's going to be a huge game for them in their playoff hopes.
I got Bengals on that.
You got Bengals on that?
I got Steelers coming off a loss, dude. They need that game.
I got Bengals.
Steelers have been atrocious.
They have been, but they still somehow are competing. I don't understand. I mean, the quarterback is the problem for their team. They need to
absolutely.
Roy, me and a buddy Albert, which my friend Albert, by the way, since you're watching, he's a San Diego State fan. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings because they're the only ones that had CBS Sports to watch the San Diego State Arizona State basketball game this past week, and they were on, and we just kept watching. And then Josh Rosen comes in, interception. Then the next backup comes in, interception. It was a dog shit of a performance in your best uniforms, by the way. So yeah, absolutely saw that. Sucks for you, but you know what? The Braves won, Roy. The Braves won. You can't be mad. And Arkansas looked like they were going to pull it off against Bama. NFC, you guys. Cardinals sitting back up top, number 1. They meaning the Green Bay Packers, looked out of sorts and then looked like they were going to absolutely
thank you, Vikings.
Minnesota comes back and just takes that away. And Minnesota is climbing back. So get this, top 4 teams, Cardinals, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Buccaneers. So technically top 5, Rams would be the 5th team because of winning your division and whatnot. Right after that, the Vikings and the Saints, and then the 49ers and the Eagles. Watch out for the Eagles. And the Panthers lose today because they didn't play the Cardinals. What a weird NFC West right now. But just like everybody on this podcast thought when they were 1-4, 1-3, the Vikings, we all came on here and were like, that's like the best 1-3 team in the league. We all thought they were going to come back and be able to make a few moves, and I think they're still going to be able to. Vikings could easily play themselves into the playoffs. So we need to make sure that we don't finish with the 2 seed. We could play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary. Yeah.
And they run the ball well, and they do
Yep.
the dink and dunk stuff, and and they have great receivers.
I don't think the Saints are going to make it. I think they're going to fall out. I don't think the Niners are good enough, and they have a really tough schedule coming up. I think the Eagles might be able to come back and do some things because they still have some games in the NFC East where they play some pretty trashy teams, obviously, over there. I think they can come away and get that final spot. That's my
We'll
opinion.
see.
I don't know.
I think they got I think they got one more game against the Cowboys, right? So I think that's going to be, or maybe I don't even know if they played this season. They may have to play them twice. But those are going to decide the division and if they're a playoff team or not.
Yeah, dude. They play at the Giants. This is the Eagles. At the Giants.
Yeah.
At the Jets.
Those are 3 dubs.
Home to Washington. Home to the
That's
Giants.
4,
At Washington.
5.
And then the Cowboys for the last game.
So they could pull it off.
I think it's going to be them. Whereas you look at the Vikings and Saints. Actually, I'm kind of curious about the Niners. Vikings at Niners, at Lions, home to Steelers, at Bears, home to Rams, at Packers, home to Bears. That's a tough lineup.
Yeah.
But next week they play the Niners. I realized that earlier in the day, but that is a big game for both teams with playoff aspirations sitting
They
right
both
at the
need
cusp.
that game bad.
That is huge. It's at the Niners. I'm taking Mini though.
I'm taking Niners.
Mini. You're
Niners.
taking the Niners? They
Yeah.
haven't won at home yet.
I'm taking Minnesota.
Attaway, Jay.
They got to win one at home. That's embarrassing.
I don't think it's going to get
$1 billion stadium.
I don't think
They
it's going to be
won
against
today.
Minnesota though.
No, they won at Jacksonville. That's right. So
yeah,
that's Minnesota. The Saints, they play the Bills, Cowboys, Jets, but then Bucks, Dolphins, Panthers, Falcons. I don't trust the Saints to come out of that.
No.
Not
No way,
comparative to the other ones that we saw. And then the Niners, we just saw that they play the Vikings, then they play at the Seahawks, which rivalry game, division game, you never know. At the Bengals, home to the Falcons, at the Titans, Texans, at Rams. Maybe it's them. I could see
them
the
turning it
Vikings,
around.
Niners, or Eagles. I could, yeah. Why not?
The
right?
Niners have some injuries, so if they get some guys back healthy, I think that they could definitely get in the playoffs.
But that Eagles lineup, that is simple.
Yeah.
You can go 5-1, and you are there at 10-7, in my opinion.
Yeah, but even these mediocre teams even the great teams, right? Like the dominant teams, like the Titans, like shit the bed. Like the Titans shit the bed too.
Yeah,
Like
but
we shit the bed last week. I mean, all these teams shit the bed.
But we're
So
coming into the final stretch, though, right? Like that's when your team should be heightened and ready to go. You got seven weeks left of football. That's it, 7.
Yeah.
So if the playoffs were to start right now, are we facing the Eagles or the Panthers?
We would face the lowest seed going into the next round because we're the number 1 seed with the bye.
Yeah.
We face the lowest seed going forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So-
So right now, Saints. So if the Saints beat the Packers, we would play the Saints.
Oh, okay.
We play the next lowest seed. It's not really by seeding. It's just next lowest. Yeah.
Dude, the Saints paid money to Taysom Hill,
Okay.
and he doesn't even start for them. Like,
Isn't that crazy?
that's a problem. That's a problem.
So we have another sport we need to talk about, but give me your final thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals. I'll go last. JJ, let's start with you.
Man, things are turning around after that Carolina loss. It was rough. Like, I hate Carolina.
That was bad.
Newton, I want to punch in the face, but whatever. We're past it. We're moving forward. We beat the Sea Chickens. And
Boom shakalaka!
we won't have to face them until the end of the year when everybody's healthy, hopefully. So that gives Russ time to fix whatever he has going on with his hand. But Cardinals, we're back at the number 1 seed. No one can argue with that. So like I'm actually interested to see what sports analysts are going to say tomorrow. Are the Cardinals number 1, or are they still putting Green Bay at 1, even though they lost to Minnesota? And that, like, Rodgers was shit that game. I don't care what anybody says. So, yeah, we're back at number 1, and we're gonna Kyler has an extra week to rest up. Hopefully that ankle is brand new.
I just realized they get to rest during Thanksgiving week, and Cliff is probably going to send them home, be with family, rejuvenate for the last few weeks. I didn't realize this was through Thanksgiving week. What a blessing for this team.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great week to have off.
Great week to get your mental health together for 6 more weeks. Only 6 more football games, and then it's playoff time. Ahmet, final thoughts on the Cardinals?
You know, I've already told you what I think about the Cardinals. I mean, we're just better. But as it comes to the Seahawks, I think so. This is the first losing season under Pete Carroll that they've had. They've really mismanaged their roster.
Say that again.
This is the first losing season under Pete Carroll.
Boom shakalaka!
Smoking the Seahawk pack.
So it's, you know, they if you go and look at their draft picks over the last 3 or 4 years, like they hit on like DK Metcalf and first round picks and second round picks. Everything else in the draft they shitted on. At the same time, we've hit on those spots, right? What's up, Philly Sports?
What's up,
you know, I feel there's something there's a drastic change that's going to happen in Seattle, and they're going to be, I think, a shitty team for a while.
They should have gotten rid of Russell Wilson this offseason.
They should have got rid of him too.
They should have gotten, real quick, I want to go over next week's games because we're really in the thick of it. It is coming out right to the end with all these teams. So Steelers, Bengals, we kind of already talked about both teams on the cusp there. Big game for both. The Bengals already beat the Steelers earlier this year, by the way. Can't even underestimate how important this game is for both those teams. The Buccaneers and the Colts next week too. This is a really big game. I would love to see the Colts beat the Bucs. I hate the Bucs, but at the same time, I don't want the Colts to get momentum as they come play for us. That's a huge game. Panthers, Dolphins. Panthers can still make a move. They can still do something playing a lowly Dolphins team. This could get it going for them.
Well, they should have got it going this week. They also
really
Washington.
Yep, they really should have. So if they lose this game, Panthers are out, in my opinion. Then you got the Titans and the Patriots, 2 of the top teams in the AFC. This is going to be a good game. I'm probably going to pick the Patriots at this point, which I hate to say. I'm going to go to that Philly sports take, or sports talk, excuse me. We had just gotten done saying that we think the Eagles are going to make the playoffs. We think the Eagles are going to go in and officially make the playoffs this year. You guys have a really easy schedule coming up. That should make you happy. I'm picking the Eagles over the Giants, whether Saquon Barkley plays or not. Saquon Barkley has turned out to be an absolute bust of a pick. So,
and the line is garbage. -3.5. That should be -5.5 for the
Easy. Falcons at Jags. I'll pick the Falcons. This is just kind of a throwaway. If the Falcons want to make the playoffs, they have to win every single game from here on out, even though they're not going to.
Hey, Roy, I'm picking the Jags.
Jets and Texans, nobody cares about. Battle for number 1 pick or number 2 pick, actually. Here's another good one. Chargers and Broncos. Broncos can easily pretty much be done if they don't take care of business against the Chargers, but I assume Chargers are going to win. And then check this out. Just great games all day next week, and we don't have to sweat. We can just put our feet up, enjoy these other teams beating up on each other, enjoy getting fat off of all your turkey sandwiches on that Sunday afterwards. Rams at Packers. Real quickly, give me who you guys got. I'm going to go Packers on this. I
got Rams. I think Aaron is going to throw 2 crucial picks, and I think Stafford's finally going to have a bounce back game.
Dude, it's Matthew Stafford against Aaron Rodgers again. On the road, I'm taking Packers.
Vikings and Niners, we already called. Then Sunday night, Browns and Ravens. Again, big games for those 2 teams. We end it with Monday night with Seattle and Washington. Give me a break. Anyways,
Flush that.
Turkey Day, though, Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have something planned and have family to go see and do all that fun stuff with. Bears and Lions. Can the Lions win this one? I think the Lions might win this
I hope
game.
so.
In fact, I'm picking
I
the
hope
Lions.
so.
I am picking the Lions to win this game against the Bears.
It's a short week. They're not going to have Fields.
Nope.
There's no way
they're not
Fields
gonna
is
have
playing
Fields.
this game.
It's
I hope that's their win before we play them.
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
very good point. Very good point. Go Lions. Everyone's going to be rooting for you. Raiders Cowboys Turkey Day game number 2. I'm going to go Cowboys. You guys?
I'm
gonna go Raiders.
I
Raiders.
really fucking hate the Cowboys and the Raiders
know.
both, but I would love to see the Raiders beat the Cowboys because they're in our division, in our conference.
Facts. And then to cap it off, a little pumpkin pie dessert football between, you guys can't see on there, Bills and Saints. I'm going to take the Bills.
Bills. Yeah.
Why is this game on Thanksgiving?
It's the third
Bills are
game.
going to stomp. the
Remember
shit
when
out
we
of the
played
Saints.
Thanksgiving against the Eagles? I think it might have been like our Super Bowl run or something like that. And we got blown out in the snow.
Yeah, the Saints are going to have nothing thankful after that game, dude.
No, I'm taking the Bills after that. So many games. NFL season. How fun has it been? Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns are on a 12-game winning streak. 12-game. Okay, I know there's no MPJ. I know there's no Jamal Murray. I know there's no Nikola Jokic. I get that. We went up with 48 points in the first quarter by 20, and we just went on cruise control. And throughout this game, throughout against the Dallas games, again, I know Luka didn't play those games either. It just looked like we got bored at times. It looked like we got bored, and they just were going through the motions. And then they would look up, oh, it's a 9-point game. Oh, there's 6 minutes left, and we're down 3 to Dallas. Let's pick it up and let's go up 14. Let's do that. They are so good at being able to turn it on whenever they want. They are so good at that. Last year, it was a flaw because I didn't want that team going into the playoffs. This year, they've proven they've done it, and I'm okay with them being able to do that. Don't waste your energy on the first 2 quarters. Keep it close. Keep it manageable. Make a few adjustments. Play your balls off in the third quarter. Come out the beginning of the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, they're right there even when we're down, and we haven't been down very often.
That's a good
What
point.
a team. What a team, you guys. JJ, what do you have to say about the Suns? 12 games.
Man, you mind pulling up our schedule and just like looking at all the green W's? That's very satisfying to see. But yeah, man, the Suns team is just on cruise control, like you said. Everybody's pacing, and no one is like overshooting themselves. Landry is finally picking up the pace a little bit more every game. JaVale McGee is finally fitting into that mold that we sort of need him to be in. Cam Johnson tonight finally got his fucking stroke back. Pause, but he was shooting lights out tonight. He had 22 points. Just everybody stepped up, and it just came in today a few minutes ago that Frank Kaminsky is out indefinitely with a right knee injury.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
So that's
the reaction.
Yeah, but yeah, like this team, like last season, we would go on great stretches being up by 20, and then we just like fumble the bag and stuff.
Yep.
And like that was just incredibly annoying. I'd rather be tied or within a 5-point game through the first 2 quarters, and then we just press on the gas and just win by 15 and just do it that way, because who's really going to outrun this young veteran team, like our rotation. Yeah, maybe the Warriors, but our rotations are second to none. Our defense, when we need to play defense, it's going to be a hard shot regardless. The Nuggets tonight, they were kind of right behind us the whole time. They got close a couple times, but
we were toying with them.
Yeah. We let Compazzo do whatever the fuck he wants. We just held his forehead and just let him swing. It's not a big deal. If Jokic wants to tweet his brothers and shit, fucking let him. I'm not worried about.
That's funny.
anybody else in the West besides Golden State. But I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, our defense can definitely step up, but when we need them to, they're there. So this 12-game stretch has been incredible. That Memphis game blowout, that Minnesota game should have been a blowout, but whatever. Dallas couldn't compete, and it's just been great. Now, looking at the games coming up right now, San Antonio, that should be a win as well. Cleveland might be a close one. I might be going to the. Oh yeah, that'll be a good game to go to.
So before you get into it, I want to get Amit's take on what he's seen so far, and then I want to get into the upcoming week because I've told you guys I've been taking the season a week to week basis.
Yeah,
and so I want to take it that way. But Amit, first thoughts on overall 12 games and the last 2 games with Dallas and Denver missing stars though.
So we're beating the JV team. I mean, you kind of felt bad. I wanted to see Jokic in this game. I want to see him get schooled by Ayton again because Ayton put up a good game, but Jokic wasn't there, so we can't claim that same thing. Where I don't remember the stats were, but he just owns him, right? And we saw in the playoffs too. Defensively, he owned him.
Yep.
And by the way, that court looks slick. That little orange paint with the brown outside.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's that. I like that court. My favorite. I think I have a tie between the Valley Court and then you guys remember with Nash they had this in the middle of the court.
Yeah.
And then
they had the two-tone wood shade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those are probably my 2 favorite courts.
Whoops.
But yeah, I mean, this team's rolling, dude. Like and you're seeing dynamic things from guys that last season they were playing in an offense and that was very structured. And now we're seeing so many counters to everything that happens. So like, for instance, like Jay Crowder, right? Like he'll pump fake off the 3 and then he's got a floater game now. Like he's got floaters all of a sudden. Cam Johnson slashing rather than just doing the pull-up shot.
Yes.
Mikal Bridges with the mid-range in the pick and roll as a primary guy, right? Like we didn't see that last season. Booker with his defense. Booker
has been great.
Dude,
right?
He is an all-pro. We'll go to Devin Booker in a minute. In a minute. Keep going, Amit.
Ayton running the floor, right? You saw that one where CP3 just kind of threw it over the other guy's head and he just laid it up and in. I mean, I think we're just seeing a dynamic team that can win so many ways, but the foundation of the entire team is defense.
Absolutely.
And the difference is when they win and when they lose, or when the games are close and when they're not, is really the 3-point defense. Are they sticking to their guys and are they scramble? So that scramble defense that we saw last year really perfected, I want to say around April, and that's when that team went on that run. I think we have some new guys this year, and they're learning how to do that. I'll say this, though. You guys saw Nader didn't play, and the second unit fucking balled out.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And because Mikal was taking a spot.
We've all agreed. We'll take Nader on like the one-on-one defense. That's about it. So unless you're like subbing offense for defense, I don't really see a need to have Nader in the game unless it's, of course, for matchup purposes. After that, he's trade bait. I was listening to Suns Jam today too. Remember, what is it? December 15th is the first day that dudes that have signed a 1-year a deal with a new team can be traded. So that's kind of the first thing. And they were talking about this because of Frank Kaminsky going down, and it's indefinitely. And I don't know if you guys looked up what the knee injury that he has, the stress reaction is. It's basically the bone part of the knee is starting to weaken, which leads to a stress fracture. So that's going to take time for it to heal up, stop using it, get stronger. I mean, with all my knee injuries, it's just me. I'm not a doctor. I would imagine it's minimum 4 to 6 weeks, right? I would imagine longer. It's something like that.
I think it's longer because it's not
a
like
footer doing it.
He can't strengthen the bone,
right?
Like it's not like something like, oh, I can just build the
drink some milk
and the ligaments around my knee. I have to actually, the bone has to be strong.
Yeah.
Yep. So, kind of going down the list of guys to back up, like Frank, if we lose one of our bigs, we're going to be hurting right now. No Dario and now no Frank. Now we're really going to be pushed if anybody else goes down. We saw McGee. He can't be, nothing can happen to him until the 15th, December 15th. So it's minimum 3 weeks-ish from now. I don't trust anything that I've seen from Jalen Smith in any garbage times or anything. I'd love to see him. Maybe this is his opportunity. I don't think so. I'm wondering if we're going to see a trade soon, just like the Suns Jam guys said. I think that's possible. At the same time, they were completely okay with Dario and Ayton being the dudes last year. So why should we think they would go and get somebody? Maybe they do just wait it out. But if there's any time to make a move on Thad Young, damn.
So what is the deal again?
Damn.
What was the deal that we had for Thad Young? It was a first round pick.
I thought it was just that, and I don't even know if it was that, but it was definitely Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
It was Jalen Smith, Dario, and a pick.
That's right.
I believe
Dario.
that's what I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is a good trade. But
is there any way Dario comes back this season? You don't
it
think
won't
so?
be till the end, but
It'll
I don't
be in
think
the
he's going to
playoffs.
play the
in the playoffs. I think.
Everybody's different, right? He might just decide to not rush it either. So we don't know what kind of decisions him and his family and medical team would make on their own.
And he's going into an expiring year after this season, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, I think maybe next year.
Yeah. So last year was his first year. This is be second. So he'd be expiring next year.
Correct. He'd be on a 1-year deal basically next year.
Yeah.
Which could be good for San Antonio, honestly.
Yeah.
And Jalen Smith is not. He's expired, so you could play him, see if he's worth anything, because we know San Antonio sucks, right?
Exactly.
So they could see if they can get any value out of him, and then you get the first round pick. It's going to be a late first round pick, but you get one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So next week, you guys. Oh, I had it up. Let me go back. This is a big week, and it's Thanksgiving, obviously, but the team is on the road. They play at San Antonio tomorrow. So second end of a back-to-back. I have a hindering feeling Chris Paul might be sitting out tomorrow. Maybe start a campaign against this team or something. You don't think so?
No.
Maybe he plays 12 minutes.
He didn't play in the fourth quarter, dude. He's going to play.
Okay, I could see that. I didn't think about that. I wouldn't mind him sitting out, though. I really wouldn't. We have a healthy campaign who looks a lot better, and Alfred Payton, I think, can fill in that bench role.
I mentioned all those guys that had unique things that they added to their game this year. Campaign's one of the guys that hasn't added anything to his game.
I think for him, it's more about being able to control the offense.
And I don't think he's doing a good job of that. Because he still takes those weird 3-pointers with 3 seconds on the shot clock. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
That's also his game and what he does. And that's you can't take that away from him too much.
Maybe.
What campaign is great at is clock management and looking for the open man and shooting when he needs to.
Shooting when he needs to, I completely agree with.
Yeah, so he conducts that second unit really well. He hasn't really added much to his game, but does he really need to? Because I think he does a fine job, especially him coming off injury. I think he's kind of filling that void.
I think he could learn from Chris Paul how to snake the pick and roll better.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
I thought he's getting better at that. Honestly, I thought he was doing better.
Because he tries to get to that the dotted line or 2 feet from the dotted line just to throw that little floater up. He's good. Actually, I'll say this: he's good at offensive rebounds this year. He's better at that. He's catching those more.
What the hell is playing? Keep talking. I got something playing in my ear and I can't.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's getting better rebounds than he did last season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think campaign's doing just fine. I really haven't noticed. I think when he got back from injury, he was a little iffy, but
he's dipped in assists. He has,
okay,
by a full assist.
But
his minutes are down 2 minutes a game. By the way, for what it's worth, field goal percentage is down, 3-point percentage is down. It's still early. Everything is down across the board statistically, but when I'm watching him. Except for points. Points is up by 0.4 points. But when I'm watching him, I feel like he's trying to organize the offense a little more. I just get that collective feeling. So I think he's trying to figure it out a little bit more. And as you said, kind of maneuver around that pick and roll just a little bit better. I mean, the problem is that he's learning from Chris Paul, who's a mid-range shooter, right?
Yep.
That's not
His game is floaters. His game is
floaters, attacking, and getting the alley-oop or the cross-court pass to the guy in the corner.
Yeah.
That's kind of more his role.
And now his lineup isn't just him, Johnson, Torrey Craig,
Dario
and Crowder. It's with JaVale and
Shamet.
Now. So they're not playing small ball anymore. So
and
he has
Kaminsky
to get
either.
Yep.
Yeah. So he has to get used to addition to a big man or looking for Landry coming off the pick, which he didn't necessarily have to do a lot last year. But he's going to get it down, though.
It's a learning experience. It's a process. It's a process.
We're nitpicking.
And I see him taking command.
Yeah.
I see him taking command of it just a little bit more. I do. And I think other things are suffering for it. And that's okay right now. Like, we've won 12 in a row. We are nitpicking, but this is an important week. It's our longest road trip so far of the season. At San Antonio, which we should win. At Cleveland, no Evan Mobley. Ricky Rubio, 38-point revenge game incoming. But also no Colin Sexton. That should be a win in theory, but it is the night before Thanksgiving. Who knows how this team's going to be feeling before they go to New York. Unfortunately, it's the same damn thing that happened last year where we play the New York teams back to back, and we play the Knicks first on a Friday, and then we play Brooklyn. And that sucks. We should be able to beat the Knicks. No reason why we couldn't. Maybe
Book's going to have a big game that game, dude.
Who?
In the Garden? Book's going off in that game.
They defended him very well last year.
There, man.
One of them.
CP3 took it over. I'm gonna say Chris Paul, and I think Book will want this Brooklyn game going up against KD.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that's a possible finals matchup right there,
dude. I want that game so bad. And then we get 2 days off. Thank God. We'll have a Sunday, Monday off, and we'll play Golden State, our very first game against Golden State. And then by the next Friday, we'll have played Golden State twice. And the Detroit in the middle. Detroit in the middle kind of scares me because that's probably a team that could come out and beat you. And we're thinking about Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Hi, Detroit. And then, Curry again.
Did you guys see the Laker game or see any of the highlights of that shit?
I wanted to bring that up to you guys. Was that not crazy? I want to get into that at the end. Let's finish off with the Suns here in this week.
Oh, yeah.
Four-game home trip. You guys, we're not going to be with you on Wednesday night. We're going to be with our families, believe it or not, doing family dad stuff. So we're not going to be here on the podcast. I am going to have a podcast almost immediately after the Arizona State-Arizona game. But the Suns play Brooklyn right at 5:30. So I might do a Saturday night broadcast and then a Sunday night broadcast as well, too. I might actually skip Sunday since the Cardinals don't play. I didn't even think about that. Might just go on Saturday because it'll be hate week. Arizona State, Arizona. Got to cover the rivalry game. And then we play Brooklyn. So we might come on Saturday night. But either way, we're not going to be here Wednesday. I will for sure be here Saturday night. And we'll talk about Sunday. So we've got 4 straight games before we come on next. What's our record on it?
3-1.
JJ?
Undefeated still.
That's what I'm going with. 4-0. That's what I'm going with. 4-0 on this one coming up. Absolutely. Why not?
Let's break the record, man. Come on.
Why not? 4-0. We would be 16 straight in a row.
He's on fire.
Amit, what game do you have us losing?
Brooklyn.
Fair enough.
Here's my thing with Brooklyn. Like, KD covers so much deficiencies on that team. And
he does.
And the Nets really haven't played anybody good this year. And until we play them, we'll be their first big game. If we have a revenge game from last season, 2 really. So I think Suns will win that game for sure if we don't go undefeated.
James Harden goes off against us like fucking clockwork.
Dude, my
Like
counterpoint to
clockwork.
all that is of whatever James Harden does. You guys saw the Olympics. The best player on the planet was Kevin Durant. Like, he fucking annihilated. If he's on your team, he could take Japan. He could take any team to the gold medal game.
Well, yeah,
Like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
fucking good.
What are you saying? He's gonna beat us and not James Harden?
I'm just saying, I'm scared of any team that guy plays on.
That's
Fair. But if we let KD have his, and just because the rules are different now, Harden drew a bunch of fouls the last time we played him, twice.
Ooh.
So Harden has been playing like shit this whole season.
He's heating up.
He's not a top 15 player right now.
He's heating up.
And just their overall bench system and their starting five isn't good. And Blake Griffin has dropped like incredibly low with rebounds and scoring and minutes. And now they don't have DeAndre Jordan anymore. So
I mean, listen, like
So
that
no
team
Javon
is-
Carter revenge game.
Oh no.
nah, he's probably not even going to play. Honestly,
Yeah. No, I mean, they're top heavy, right? Like, that team is top heavy, and they don't. I think Joe Harris is out. Like, they got some guys. I don't know if they're going to be back when we play them. They may be, but their team is top heavy, and we know that. And they don't have depth, especially in the front court, to match with us. But KD's something different, man. Like, they almost beat the Bucks. Like, they almost beat the Bucks.
Yeah.
a toe.
An interesting take real quick that while we've been on here that I just saw. Johnny Venerable from PHNX Sports says, no matter what happens moving forward, Colt McCoy has earned legacy status as an Arizona Cardinal backup quarterback. If the franchise is able to finally capture their first Lombardi trophy this season, McCoy will have played a key role in making that happening. That's an interesting take, and I don't disagree.
I think
He
it goes.
deserves to get his
he's
number
probably one.
retired.
He's probably one. Then Drew Stanton. Then maybe I don't even know. Who
Josh
goes after
McCown.
that.
Josh McCown.
Maybe McCown. And then
yeah.
you're like scraping the barrel with like Skelton and Max Hall and
Matt Barkley, bitches. Matthew fucking Barkley. Yeah, but it's not a big list to fucking choose from.
Yeah,
but an interesting take either way.
McCoy will be a backup GOAT for sure.
So the internet is already going crazy over what happened with LeBron James in Detroit, looking like it was about to be Malice at the Palace too. Did you guys see what happened?
Yeah,
Detroit?
I did.
Yeah.
I saw clips. I didn't see like the continuous thing. I saw it.
You want me to describe it? I don't know if y'all saw the whole thing.
Yeah, why don't you describe it for people that don't know?
What I'll pull it up here. What was the guy's name in Detroit? I'm trying to find a full clip.
Isaiah
Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart. That's right. He was a baller at Washington.
Yeah. So they're lined up at the free throw line. It was off a miss. Isaiah was trying to box out LeBron. LeBron hit Isaiah with straight forearm to the face.
Right here, Amit.
Yeah, he tore his face. Yeah. It started bleeding right away. And I'm pretty sure Russ and LeBron said something that really pissed him off. And I think it was more Russ and LeBron talking. LeBron really wasn't saying anything, and he apologized. You can see him say, "I'm sorry, bro." And Russ is talking shit the whole fucking time. So yeah, he looks at the ref and he goes in. And then when he sees Isaiah step up, he starts yelling at Isaiah, and LeBron is like, "I'm sorry, bro." And then DeAndre Jordan was trying to play fucking center Ronnie Hudson style when he tried running back. So,
and in a second, you'll see Russell Westbrook coming all the way around trying to throw hands.
And Russ kept on chirping in. He got a
technical. I mean, the thing is, LeBron's been doing a lot of petty little shit in a lot of games recently. We saw that in their series, right? We saw this type of shit that LeBron was pulling, and then he's going out and being like, that's not a basketball move. And he's been doing this petty shit for about a year or two now. That was not a basketball play that LeBron did. He absolutely deserves to get fined. He should have been thrown out of this game, by the way.
Look at his
for
eye,
that,
man. That's
yeah,
fucking bleeding.
Yeah, he
So
tore it,
for
dude.
that blatant, and his lip, for that blatant fucking hit that he did on him. He should have been thrown out the game and probably suspended another game or two,
When he
just
runs
like
back right
Jokic
here.
did. And then he runs back. He's
Dude,
ready
this
to
guy's
go.
crazy. This dude is crazy.
Fucking
bro.
Connor, dude.
Look at this,
guy.
man. That's like John. That's James Conner right there, bro. Running through
This
the
is
offensive
great
line.
contact for anybody listening on Spotify,
I
Apple
know, right?
Podcasts, and Anchor. Which, by the way, please join those and share this video out and like it and all that fun stuff and subscribe.
Dude, that girl's gonna get hurt, dude. She's like at his hip.
It was not a good scene, but you know what? It all started with our boy LeBron. He's the one that was starting and instigating all this shit, and he should not have gone over and slapped some dude in the fucking face like that. With this happening, LeBron should be suspended minimum 2 games, maybe 3 for an altercation that led to this for his actions.
I mean, just the visual of what you're seeing on this guy's eye, like this guy wasn't even in boxing. Like boxers don't get that fucked up. Like that's a lot. Look how swollen his eyes.
Anybody listening in, Isaiah Stewart got hit in the eye. It honestly didn't look too bad when you watch a replay. Ended up cutting this dude's eye, blood absolutely everywhere.
Man, he's about to fight him in the fucking locker room.
Yeah,
God
he
damn.
tried
Blood all
circling
over his
around.
eye, coming out of his mouth. He's aggressive as shit the whole time, which I don't blame him. But also, this is the pros. You can't do that type of shit. I'm sure he's gonna get fined or something. I don't blame him though. And I urge everybody to go see that. It was not a basketball play. It was really piss poor.
Nader
what
on the
LeBron
drive.
Yeah, Nader on the drive. But everyone's clowning that. And then Luke Walton's out as head coach of the Kings. He shouldn't have ever been invited back to this season, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So it's weird firing a guy this soon, in my opinion. He shouldn't have come back. But our old friend Alvin Gentry is stepping in as their interim coach. I think they're going to do a lot better under Alvin.
Oh, they're going to do
Other
so
than
much.
Monty Williams in the past 30 years, there's Paul Westphal, Monty Williams, and then Alvin Gentry is my top 3 coaches in my lifetime for the Phoenix Suns.
And he's a defensive guy too. So
Exactly.
like,
Over D'Antoni.
yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely over D'Antoni.
100%.
Every day and
do that?
twice
How
on
can you say
Sunday.
that? Dude,
Every
how can
day
you
a
say
week
that?
and twice on Sunday.
No, man.
D'Antoni laid back and he let the players play.
That 2009,
He's a
2010
Steve Kerr
team,
player.
Western Conference with Jay Rich and all them, that was a better team than anything that D'Antoni had. That defense played, that bench played defense. They had defined roles, and they went farther than just 8 fucking guys. And they played defense. Did I mention they played defense? Because they played defense.
D'Antoni did something. I mean, he changed the entire league, though, right? I mean, we have
That's
to admit,
great.
like,
He's a regular season coach though. He made no adjustments in the playoffs.
He never won 2 games in the Western Conference Finals. Gentry there.
Yeah.
We were an air ball away from winning 3 games.
But the common
and possibly going to
denominator
the
for
finals.
Gentry and D'Antoni was Nash,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
right? So,
But we had a good defensive team with Steve Nash as our point guard. Arguably one of the worst defensive point guards of all time, by the way.
Oh
Correct.
yeah, for sure.
correct.
You didn't play defense at all.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
I'll take that 2009-10 Western Conference Championship team over any D'Antoni team, except maybe 04-05. But again, we didn't have any depth, which led to Joe Johnson going out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We could go on about that. In any case, the Kings are probably going to get a little bit more defensive. They could do some things. I could see them scratching and clawing to the 8th, 9th, 10th seed, right? No reason to think why they couldn't. They have the offensive firepower. You get Halliburton back. All of a sudden, this team can really fire. And then you're going to have Rashawn Holmes in a defensive mindset with a defensive coach. I like their odds, to be honest with you.
Dude, the problem with that team is the ownership. It's probably the same problem with our team, but they passed on Luka Doncic.
Vlogs, is that real, dude? I'm just seeing it. Is that real?
What did that say?
Yeah,
Michael
Porter's been
Porter
out
G-
for a couple weeks now.
MPJ dealing
Okay.
with a nerve issue in his back that could jeopardize his season. It jeopardized his college freshman season at Mizzou. This has been his problem his whole career. This is why you don't pick this guy. This is why right here.
That's a fucking bummer, dude. He so
that's a bummer, but that's also what you get for picking a guy like that. That's the chance you take.
Yeah.
That is the chance you take.
Damn. That sucks for him.
That's a bummer.
I don't even know what I was saying.
Iverson vlogs with the Woj bomb tonight.
What was I talking about?
I don't know. That just kind of took the wind out of this.
I know it took everything out. Just
Sacramento and
Sacramento. Okay,
yeah.
here we go. Sacramento. They pass on Luka. They draft Marvin Bagley, who can't even play in get any regular minutes for them. That's one. Two.
I still don't know why they did.
They draft point guards, continuous point guards for the last 3 years after that.
Yep.
And they still can't seem to find something that works. Then Buddy Hield wants to leave. Luke Walton gets accused of sexual assault. He's still the coach. And they suck. Why don't you just fucking cut the guy when he's sexually assaulting people and just move on? At that point, they don't do it, right? That's an ownership problem. Yeah, I mean, it's an ownership problem with that team, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. Vladdy's there. Vladdy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. How can you pass on Luka, bro?
I thought Vladdy got fired. I thought Vladdy and Peja got fired.
They probably did. But even then, they were the same guys that passed on Luka. From their own, like, part of the Eastern Europe. So, I don't know, man. Their team is poverty.
Ever since the Maloof ownership group, when they got rid of him.
And that ownership just wasted so many prime years of DeMarcus Cousins, not putting him around any talent.
Kevin Martin before that. Kevin Martin was on the come up. Tyreek Evans was on the come up. Like, they've had players that they could build around. They've had dudes.
Yeah.
And they just
they don't give a shit.
They put the whole franchise on their shoulders for 2 or 3 seasons, and it gets to be too much, and they flounder. Those players flounder. Tyreek Evans, he was never able to get back to where he was. Kevin Martin Jr. wasn't able to get back to where he was. Look at Cousins. Like, it's a bad franchise that they have over there. And it's a damn shame, because when that team had Bibby and Doug Christie and C. Webb and Peja and Vladdy and Bobby Jackson and Corliss Williamson, they were one of the more fun teams to watch.
Dude, I love that team. And I remember, like, I had a couple guys. I was in college when they played the Lakers, and there was a couple guys from Sacktown. They were on the water polo team at my university, and these guys would just give me so much shit because they beat us. Remember, Chris Webber did the whole around the back with Jake Sakalides. Remember that shit?
Watch this. This is tonight's game. Watch this guy. I'm pulling up. There's a fan courtside at the Kings game tonight. I'm pulling it up for those that can't see. I'm going to play it right now. And he just spews all over the court. It's just funny because we're talking about the Kings being so poopy, and here's somebody throwing up on the side of the court. It's just funny. Go on.
I love that team, man. I love the way they're built. Bobby Jackson, Mike Bibby from Arizona. Who else do they have? Besides Peja, Doug Christie.
They had young Hedo Turkoglu, by the way. They had young Hedo was a killer. Brad Miller was on that team as a backup to Vladdy, and then Brad Miller moved on to be a starter.
They
had a squad, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Best passing squad all the way around that I've ever seen.
It was so fun to watch him because Jay Will was on that team, right? Jason Williams?
He got traded for Bibby. He got traded for Bibby, yeah.
Oh, no, he got before that. Yeah, he was on there before that. But yeah, it was just so fun to watch him play. It just reminded you, like, it just became like when we saw this, when Nash came over and we had all those 3-point shooters and all those guys willing to pass the ball. That's like what we became.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Bibby just because my dad played with Bibby back in high school at over here in Arizona. So, like, I remember watching the Kings ball out, the Jay Will days, and them going against the Lakers game. And my dad's all like, "This shit's fucking rigged." And what do you know?
This tells you how old. This tells you how old I am, right? Bibby was.
I was like 5.
Yeah, Mike Bibby was playing in high school when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. God damn, Amit.
Yeah.
God, I'm fucking
JJ's a youngin' over here.
Yeah.
2000 Y2K.
So the Suns are on a 12-game win streak, and we're 13-3. The Cardinals just mowing down opponents 9-2, about to get healthier. What an amazing, amazing time it is to be a sports fan. It's going to be a good week. Regardless of what happens with some of the games, it's going to be a good week. We got hate week for Arizona State and Arizona coming up. Really big football game. We just need that win. We just beat Arizona. I don't care about the bowl game. This is the bowl game to me. Just beat Arizona. Arizona State basketball has a huge opportunity right in front of them with Baylor, who was number 4 just last week. Suns have a huge road trip. But regardless of those outcomes, it's a good week. All these NFL teams are going to be beating up on each other, you guys. Chicago and Detroit on Thursday day football for Thanksgiving. That's going to be an eye-opener for the Cardinals. I just think the Lions are going to come out and spank them, which could make a little bit of a dangerous team, Chicago, when we play them if they get beat, or they're just going to completely give up at that point, and we're going to be able to train wreck them like we did in week 2 of 2015 when David Johnson opened the game returning a touchdown. It could be that game. So watch out for that. We'll see what happens.
They were winning against the Ravens today. They should have won that Ravens game.
Yeah.
They lost to a backup quarterback. So I think they're broken already. I think they are broken.
Yep. Ahmet, words of wisdom. Leave us with some.
Yeah, man. This whole it's funny. We're hardcore fans, and this shit gets so toxic. It's funny because I have one of my good friends. I have some friends that are from Dallas, and I started talking shit to them, and they were basically their whole thread to me was Booker's not clutch. That was basically Booker. Let me see it in the playoffs.
Tell me you watch basketball without telling me. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So I said, okay, that's fine. 38 and closeout against the Lakers on the road.
48.
40-point triple-double against the Clippers without CP3. 2 40-point back-to-back games, which no one else has done in the playoffs. And by the way, he had a shitty game 6 because he missed the entire fourth quarter of game 5 because of hamstring.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you tell me this dude's not clutch, and you're trying to say basically you're inferring that Luka's better than this dude. Come on, man. Fat boy Luka. No.
And Booker.
So these are friends. These are good friends of mine that now I have to argue with them, and that's the problem with our how our fan bases go. You
didn't even bring up his defense, bro. I was gonna say Booker's defense is getting to the point where it's unmatched.
So you know what triggered the whole thing is I sent the clip of when he blocked whoever he blocked and then took it down and took a step and then 3, and then he had a 3 after that too. But I only said that part, and he was just like, "Yeah, it's nice he did something in the game. He didn't do anything else. CP3 carried you guys." And I'm just like, you know what, man? You're casual. How do you talk to your friends?
Ratio.
What about Books up and under the game before? Books up and under, and then step back 3 to the left, fading away.
That was a very fucking hard
man.
shot.
Yeah.
How do we talk to our friends and tell them that they're casuals? Can we do that? Is there a way to say, hey, bro,
yeah,
you're a casual?
Just send them ratio.
I guess.
L fan.
Yes. All I'm saying is, dude, this podcast, I'm speaking for you guys now. We are the Devin Booker Stan podcast, dude. Anybody talk shit about Devin Booker, they need to come see us. All right. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. You come talk to us. Enjoy it while it lasts because it never lasts forever. I mean, you watch LeBron James, this guy's totally fucking melting down now. We got to see this really awesome player for 15 years, and the last few years he's not been very good. So
it's father time now.
It's father time, and in his head, he's doing these things that are just impulsive, right? Like hitting a guy in the face or taking cheap shots against the Suns. That Mikal Bridges played last season. If you guys remember, he tripped him.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, we can't take it for granted. We got Devin Booker, and we had Larry Fitzgerald. They're works of art. Everything they do is art. We have to just enjoy it every time because you don't get it forever.
I want to put this out since the bubble. Suns are 72-24.
Oh god.
But Jamal Murray, bro. But if Jamal Murray
was healthy.
Tough shit. Get over it. Imagine if we had a healthy Amari Stoudemire throughout his whole career. I don't want to hear about it. Brandon Webb. What if Brandon Webb never got hurt? Arguably could have been the most dominant pitcher, and we had Randy Johnson on our staff at one point.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it. JJ, leave us with some words of wisdom. Oh, and Ahmed, to answer your question, call out your friends. Call them out on their shit and save the receipts.
Call them casuals? Should I call them casuals?
Call them casual and save the receipts.
All right.
Do a lot of screenshotting too. Okay. Words of wisdom, man. What a great time to start an Arizona podcast. Two major sports that we cover, Cardinals and Suns. It's looking great right now, and I couldn't be more happy to be doing a podcast with two great, followers of the sport in different states and stuff, and it's just great to be covering this with you guys. It's been a good journey so far, 27 episodes in. It's been fun, and I can't wait for the future, and hopefully we can hold up a Lombardi and a Larry O'Brien this year. And because that would be
that's my love language.
I know. So I'm gonna tell your friends, we'll see them in the playoffs, close them out. We'll bring the brooms. We'll first class ship them, Yeah. But it's just a great time to be doing this podcast right now. Everything's clicking. The only sports that I care about, basketball and football, we're balling out. And with Kyler coming back after Thanksgiving, it's going to be some trouble. And everybody enjoy their Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving is actually the Saturday after Thursday. My whole family is having a crab broil. We're going to go crazy.
Nice.
We're not doing that turkey shit this year. And I'm really looking forward to that. But everybody just relax, kick your feet up. Don't stress about Kyler's injuries or Hop and that injury report. We have another week to pass by, and Suns, they're gonna continue doing their thing and toying with people.
Yeah, they are.
We're number one in both sports right now. Golden State, they're doing whatever. Wait till they play us. So
that's what I said. We're gonna smash them. We're gonna smash them.
Yeah, they haven't played a team like us.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom from me is just be grateful as hell for what our sports teams are doing right now, because we went through a decade period where we had one good team and a couple college teams, and we went through the Arizona State days where Sun Devil Stadium, with Cardinals. We've been through a lot. Appreciate what you have. Put your feet up this weekend. A lot of good games going on. I'm really happy that the Cardinals actually don't play this weekend. It's kind of nice. But on Saturday for me, I'm going to watch Michigan, Ohio State, go blue. Then right after that game, we roll right into Arizona State, Arizona, go Devils. Then we roll right into Book versus Durant on Saturday. Saturday is going to be a great day. I can't wait to podcast with you guys. I don't know if you guys will join. I will be on. You guys will probably be busy doing things. I'm going to be on. I'm going to have quite a few whiskeys and or bourbons that day. So who knows what the podcast is going to be like that night. It will be lit for me. Really bad content for everybody else. I am sorry, but I'm not sorry by any means. So be grateful for what we have with sports. Be kind to one another. What an awesome day we had. What just an absolutely awesome day we had. I'm glad we could share it with you guys. Eating the sea chickens, getting 12 wins. Happy Sunday. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. He's on Fire Podcast.
Much love.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And it is caught! Down strong! Blitz coming. Matthews. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. There he scores. It's over. It's insane to the 4-yard line. Crowder looking, throws it alley. Oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting